morning, Year 3, and welcome back. I hope you've had a lovely week off and enjoyed the beautiful weather. This is the first lesson of English this week, and we are starting a new text this week because we finished writing a story before the holiday. So today you're going to read as a reader. And what we're looking at is a diary entry today. And by the end of the unit, you're going to write your own diary entry. So I'd like to introduce this character here, and he says, I'm your explorer and guide, so let's get on and discover new lands together. So this extract is actually from the story The Lion, the Witch and the Wardrobe. It doesn't matter if you haven't read it. This isn't a diary entry. This is just explaining a little bit about different lands. So if I just read this to you. Would you believe me if I told you that I had a wardrobe that takes me to magical places? I have been a jungle explorer for many years. I have explored the cloud jungle in Peru, the wild jungles of Borneo, and even the ancient Waipoua forest in New Zealand. However, 6 years ago, I bought a beautiful wardrobe at the market, and when I got it home, I discovered that it was not just beautiful, but a magical one too. Every week on a Sunday evening, if I step into the wardrobe, I am transported to a magical jungle that is out of this world. Come and discover these new lands with me. Exploring jungles is very exciting. Every time I go through my wardrobe and discover a new one, I write in my jungle log. It is a bit like a diary, and it is where I write down what has happened on my visit. Here is my entry from my first visit to the Atlantic jungle in Borneo. An amazing place where the sky is yellow and the soil pink. So what we're going to do is use our imagination, and we're going to imagine that we have got a wardrobe, and that every time we step into this wardrobe, we are transported into a magical jungle, and each jungle is different. So I'm going to read you the diary entry that the character has written about the jungle that she or he has visited. So it says, Jungle Log, the 18th of April 2020. Today has been an amazing day of discovery. I woke up early and got ready for my trek into the Atlantic jungle. I was excited and couldn't wait to see what lay ahead of me. I packed my rucksack and put on my sturdy walking boots. Sturdy just means they're quite tough. I made sure my camera was working because I wanted to record as much of the day as possible. I left the camp at 6 a.m. First, I trudged through the dense forest and collected samples of the plant life. My favourite was a thorny bush. It had tiny yellow flowers growing on it, which smelt like ice cream. Next, I studied some of the mesmerising insects that were crawling up the rough bark of every tree. One insect looked like a caterpillar that had 2 sets of wings and tiny hands on the end of its 20 legs. Excitedly, I photographed as many creatures as I could because I wanted to show my explorer friends what I had discovered. After a short break, I measured the circumference of the tallest tree to work out how old they were. One measured 10 meters around and was so tall that I couldn't see the top of it. It reminded me of the beanstalk in the famous children's story. Next, I trekked into a clearing and found a beautiful plunge pool. The water was turquoise and tiny neon fish were splashing on the surface. I tried to catch one, but they were too fast for me. Then it was time for a rest. I lounged on pink grass, soaking up the purple sunbeams and listening to the strange jungle noises around me. Finally, I headed back to camp because the sun began to set. It sets quickly in Borneo, and I was worried I might get lost. When I got to my tent, I unpacked the rucksack and stored my plant samples safely. I'm really looking forward to where my wardrobe will take me next. So this is the diary entry from the jungle that the character has discovered in the back of their wardrobe. So today, all you're going to do is answer some questions to make sure you've understood the text. So these questions I'll put on purple mash. What you will need to do is look back at this video to find the answers. So what I suggest you do is pause the video on this page and then on this page to look for the answers in the text. So here are some of the questions that you're going to have. Which jungle is going to be explored? So you will need to look back in the text and have a look for the name of the jungle that the character is exploring. List 2 things the explorer did before he left camp. So remember, that's 2 things, because it says 2 here, before he left the camp. Give 2 reasons why the explorer left early at 6 a.m. Again, remember it's saying 2 reasons, not 1. Which word in the text means the same as prickly? So if you don't know what prickly means, then you can have a look on the online thesaurus to see what that means, and then find a word in the text that means the same. What did the tiny yellow flowers smell of? The fish in the plunge pool were hiding. Is that true or false? What useful things might the explorer have in his rucksack for exploring? Why did the explorer measure the trees? And it says the explorer says, it reminded me of the beanstalk in the famous children's story. What story do you think he's talking about? So all these are retrieval questions. The answer is in the text. I'm going to pause the video on text. Okay, if you have any problems, then you can message us on the blog, and I will speak to you tomorrow. Bye.